Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new playthrough. As you saw, will be Forbidden Fortress, Shadows of Brimstone. One of my favorite games of all time. I love Flying Frog games, and this is definitely a great one. Now, I've added a bunch of stuff into this session. I'm not going to tell you what it is, except for one character that you'll see. But we are ready to go. I'm going to shuffle these up a little bit more, but I got my exploration tokens all ready to go. Got our darkness track ready to go. Got the characters all set up. As you can see by who they are on the board, we are going to have the female assassin right here. We're going to have the female traveling monk right here. I gave her the lantern too. She's got the lantern and the bell hanging from her staff. We're going to have the male samurai, and I'm sorry that these are not painted and there's still some flashing on them and all that stuff, but man, I put together a lot of minis. And then the Sumo wrestler, so that'll be interesting. Sumo wrestler is a character I haven't played with before, so that'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to see if I can not mix up too many of the rules with the base Shadows of Brimstone and get everything right. We'll see. I doubt it's going to happen, but we'll give it a try. Okay, let's talk about the characters we're going to bring with us and what their setup looks like, and then we'll talk about the scenario. So this video is going to be basically a setup video. We might actually get a little gameplay in, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, well here we have our samurai warrior. As you can see, starts with a grit. We got the warrior's katana, samurai armor, samurai helmet, and I took the randomly got one. We took one of these. We got the rising sun ability. Once per turn, use one grit to add +2 damage to your combat hits. That's nice. Whenever the hold back the darkness rolls failed, not including depth events, recover a grit on the d6 roll of 4+. Pretty good. And then our two samurai tactics, which are fueled by our fury, are these. We got this sweeping slice. Choose a direction. Each model in the space adjacent to you in that direction takes one combat hit. You can see how that looks right there, right? There is no combat hits. These do not generate fury, and they get better as it goes up level. And then we have immediately move up to 2 spaces. This is called lunging thrust. Ignoring escape tests, then do a single free combat hit to an adjacent enemy. You may not gain fury tokens from these hits. It costs 3. So basically, yeah, when you use your fury to fuel your attacks, you don't get the tokens back. But we'll get a bunch of tokens as we go. And as you can see, we're going to have max fury. And it's the samurai battle tactics. We start with 2. And then battle fury. Anytime you do 1 or more wounds to an enemy with a combat hit, you gain a fury. Pretty cool, right? Plus, this is pretty nice, this helmet, samurai helmet. Once per turn, when you kill an enemy, you gain a fury. So that means if we hit and kill it, we'll get 2. That's pretty nice. Armor, armor 5+, we got +2 health and -1 initiative. That's not great because initiative's 3, but it's 4 with the armor on. And then our katana is +1 combat once per turn. Spend 2 fury to add +1 damage to all your combat hits just off the bat there. Our personal item that we got was the Lucky Sash, +1 luck. Once per adventure, you can cancel 1 hit you have taken, even after a defense roll is made. That's pretty nice. That's a nice little lucky item that we have there. Of course, we start with 1 grit, and we started with a thing of tonic in our side bag. That is the Samurai Warrior. Now, please give me a name for the Samurai Warrior. There. I want to have them named by the next episode and have everybody named up and ready to go. So please give me, I was thinking like Nobanunga. We'll see. But give me a name. I'd like to hear from you. Next up, we have the Traveling Monk. Also, please give me a name. You can see that we got the ability Fists of Fury. It says once per turn when making a melee attack. Use 1 grit to roll 1 extra combat against each enemy currently adjacent to you, or roll 2 extra combat against a single large or bigger enemy adjacent to you. So she can do like these like Bruce Lee type punches. We also have the lantern. She's got the lantern, which is helpful to us. It keeps light around us. She's our healer, by the way. She's got the Sacred Bell. Once per adventure, you and all other heroes on the map tile count as having cover 3+. Save against all attacks damage sources until the end of the round. That's pretty good. And then we have our Monk Staff, which is our main weapon. At the end of each turn, you may heal 1 wound from every other adjacent hero. This is why she's got the lantern. Everybody's going to want to be around her. If it's equipped as a 2-handed weapon, combat hits may use a d8 for damage. Well, we might as well have it equipped as a 2-handed combat weapon. She doesn't have anything else that requires hands. And you can see that by the little symbol right there. Okay, and then once per adventure, fully heal your sanity recover 1 grit. That's the tarnished coin, which is her personal item that she got. And we threw some bandages in her side bag just to continue to beef up her ability. Now, she generates ki. Unlike Fury, she generates ki. And then at the start of each turn, we're going to gain a ki. And then as the Sacred Order, once per turn, you may channel your ki into one of your combat hits or any source of healing you are using. For each ki token spent, increase healing by 1 to a single target. For every 2 ki tokens spent, increase damage by 1 hit. And then she has a Yamabushi, +1 damage to on all attacks against myth enemies. That is her. Now you can see she starts with the Monk Staff and the Sacred Bell, and that's what we have here. Let's go on to the next character, our Sumo Wrestler. And again, please name the Sumo Wrestler. I was thinking of Sammo Hung. Do you know who that is? Tell me if you do. Anyway, please give me a name if you don't like that name especially. Starts with, I'm not going to go over all their stats. You'll see how that works out as we play. If you know the game, great. If you don't, go watch my other playthroughs of this. I've done a bunch. Sumo Mawashi is like the belted thing that they wear. It says, whenever you kill an enemy, recover a grit on a d6 roll of 5 or 6. For large size creatures only, he is large. And then we got Wrestling Champion as his ability. You now automatically pass all escape tests and may move into a space with large size or smaller models, including with the push ability, shifting them as normal. Your push ability now works on a d6 of 3+ instead. Your combat hits are +1 damage on models you moved with push this turn. And you can see that he is a large creature. So the hero's large size. He automatically passes escape tests for medium or smaller enemies and may move into a space with a medium or smaller enemy, shifting that model into the space he just left. This does not allow the hero to move through barriers. And then push. When moving through a space with a model, you may roll a d6 on a 4+. You may push that model back in one of 3 adjacent spaces behind it, instead of shifting it to the space to your left. No single model may be pushed more than once per turn. And then meaty hands, you gain +1 combat for each open hand you have. So right now I have both open hands, so we're going to have +2 combat. Combat's 2 right now. That'll be 4. It's pretty good. And then we got +1 of the Worn Ribbon, +1 initiative. So his initiative is 1. He's fast. Or slow, rather. I'm sorry. 3. 3. His initiative is 3, so he's not fast. I think it's, I think, hold on. Anyway, regardless, we get +1 initiative at the end of each adventure. You may remove 1 corruption point from yourself. That's pretty good. So, so our fastest is the Assassin and the Traveling Monk are too fast. But that means that the Samurai is only going to be a 2, and the Sumo Wrestler is going to be a 3. That's okay. We got the Assassin to make up for it. Let's check out our Assassin. Again, I would like a name. If you get the chance, please give me a good name for the Assassin. Oh, by the way, the Sumo Wrestler has sake in his side bag. So I took Ruthless, which changes up the Assassin just a little bit. It says, anytime you kill an enemy, you may heal 1 sanity damage. Extra starting gear, you replace the Ninjato with a pair of Sai. And these are the pair of Sai. They're +1 combat, once per turn. You may cancel 1 enemy combat hit against you before defense rolls are made. That is really good. So they're a good defensive item. She ended up with the Battle Gloves. It's +1 cunning, and then once per adventure, you may add 3 damage to one of your hits. And she chose to be from the Osaka Brotherhood, which is her clan. It's +1 strength and a free attack. Once per adventure, every enemy on your map tile immediately takes 1 hit, doing d6 damage. She's got a bomb in her bag. And let's see, Ninja Clan we picked Nimble, +1 move, may move through other models, and you automatically pass all escape tests. We got a lot of people that can make through escape tests. That's pretty good. Deadly, your combat hits ignore any armor an enemy has, and are also +1 damage while your target is the only enemy adjacent to you. So that's important. And then Silent Fighter, you may not use guns. Okay, well, we're not going to use guns anyway. That's all right, right? Anyway, those are our characters. Those are who we're going to be playing in this scenario. Now let's take a look at the scenario we're going to play. We're starting with a number 1 scenario, but not the base scenarios from the base part of the game. We'll see what we're doing here. Okay, we're going to be doing Forbidden Fortress Mission 1. Now this is not the first Mission 1. There's 2 sets of these. And we're going to be playing Castle of the Dead. It says, legend tells of a haunted castle perched on a mountaintop, once home to a fierce trio of sorceress sisters besieged by a jealous daimyo. It now holds little more than cold death and the promise of unending torment to all the villages in the shadow of the mountain. To all the villages in the shadow of the mountain, rather. Setup says this mission uses the standard setup, and all heroes start on the fortress entrance. We've done that. Now, there's a medium. We're going to be doing the medium one, and I'm not going to read everything to you. I'll just tell you what we're going to do. We're doing the medium one, which is the twins. We have to find 2 clues, and there's some special objectives there. And we're going to be searching for the twins of the witch. Now, there were 3 sisters, but one of them is apparently gone now. And we're going to take them on. If we succeed, each hero is going to gain 50 experience points, and also a bonus depending on which the scenarios difficulties we went to. We went to medium, which is going to be fine at 2 clues, but we'll see how that plays out. We will not go to another world in this scenario. We will stay in the fortress as we search through the haunted castle for the witches. And that is basically our setup, guys. That's really it. Unbelievably, I think we can just take a turn and have fun with it, right? Let's get going. So that is our setup. We're all ready to go. There are some special things here, like death dwells here, which I'm going to have to keep track of. Whenever we place a tile that's not a passage, we're going to be rolling a D3 plus 1 and put corpse tokens down. So that's going to be interesting. Those guys can get back up. So whenever we get a hold back to darkness and fails, we're going to make a rise up roll to see if the corpse tokens come up as undead. That's not good. We don't get any loot cards off those clowns either. So there's going to be some special challenges for this scenario as we play. But that is our scenario right now, and we're just going to get going with it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you do too. By the way, pardon any mistakes I make, because there will be mistakes. There's a lot going on in this game. It's beefy. There's so much that you have to keep track of, and it's prone to errors for sure. And so we're going to go with, let's see, let me think about this, and we're going to get started. Okay, the first thing that has to happen in every turn of Shadows of Brimstone is we have to do a hold back the darkness test. That's right. And you can see this chart right here. Right now we're at the fortress entrance and our darkness is way down low. Now, if ever, nothing happens when these two cross paths, but if ever this token reaches the end, we are doomed. We are dead. We lose the scenario. Right now, because we're in the beginning part, we just have to roll a 7 or better to hold back the darkness. Let's see if we start good or bad. A 6. So we failed to hold back the darkness. What does that mean? It simply means that this token is going to go up 1. Now, right now that doesn't mean anything, but it will later on. Now, I got a couple things I got to look at. Whenever you hold back the darkness, roll is failed. This is the samurai, and not including depth events, which that's what that is not a depth. That's not a depth event. It's just to hold back the darkness roll. Recover a grit on a d6 roll of 4+. Let's see. I rolled a 6, so the samurai now has 2 grit, and there's somebody else who gets that. Let me see. Just looking through their special abilities. Is it nope. I'm looking. I could have sworn there was an ability with this still. Somebody else. Like when you fail. I guess not. I guess not. I thought there was another character that had something that when you fail, the hold back the darkness. Okay, I guess that is not the case. Now we're going to get on to our turns, and the first turn is going to be to the highest initiative, so that's going to be our assassin, and our assassin is going to make a movement roll. In every game of Shadows of Brimstone, the turn order is always going to be the same, and it's pretty simple. We're going to hold back the darkness, then we're going to activate, and then we're going to explore, or end our turn, and then end our turn. There's a couple things we can do when we're exploring, but let's roll to see the samurai's move, or the assassin's movement. Now she has additional movement. She gets a 3, so she can get a 4 because she is nimble. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She didn't make it quite to the end, so what she's going to do is scavenge in that room. When you make a scavenge roll, you're going to roll 2 dice, and you're looking for 6s. If you roll a 6, for each roll you get to draw a scavenge card. She rolled a 6, which means we get to scavenge. We're going to put the deck out right there, and we're going to draw. Well, let's shuffle them up first. I don't think I've shuffled these decks as we go, so we're going to do a quick shuffle of things and see what the assassin pulls up. Hopefully we have a little bit of luck heading into the very haunted, dark, and dreary fortress. Right now we're surrounded by eerie silence as we enter the courtyard, looking for the witches, trying to lift the curse on the region. Okay, let's flip this over and see what we get. Chilling dread, of course that happens. So one thing I didn't get out yet is a piece of paper or something to track experience points. So what we're going to do is we are going to write these things down on a piece of paper. I might go back into my old Shadows of Brimstone and get my experience tokens and all that stuff out and use those. Anyway, Got to have a working pen first. That would help. I do have a working pencil. Well, actually, here's a pen right here. Let's see. We're going to say assassin. And we're going to start with 10. Wait, let me do this. XP, $10. We're going to be over here. But we may not get dollars. We'll have to see. But right now we got 10 XP from drawing this chilling dread card. And I'm probably going to go slow at first just to keep myself on track and remember the rules. Anyway, what happens next? So, when you find the shadow, only confirms the doom that awaits you. Draw a growing dead card and add it to the stack. Okay, well, let's get the growing dread cards out. Be these. Now we're going to give these a quick shuffle. We're going to add them to the stack as well. Okay, let's see here. Okay, boom. That one's going to go, we'll put it right there, and that is going to be our growing dread stack right there. So we already got a growing dread card out. Then this card simply goes away. So we'll dump that back. It doesn't go away. It goes back into the scavenge deck. And we'll be using the scavenge deck a few more times, I promise you, as we go. Probably a heck of a lot. But I need one more thing. This room has officially been scavenged. There is nothing more we can do in the entrance to the fortress. That is the end of the turn for the assassin. Now we're going to go to the next highest, which is the traveling monk, who's right here. Let's see what she gets. She gets a 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She really can't do anything, but she does gain a key token. I forgot to do that always at the beginning of her turn. So here is her key token. I'm going to put that on her character, and that means that she now has key to work with. Now, nobody's damaged, so she doesn't have to heal anybody. There's really nothing else for her to do, so that's that. Now, next up will be the Sumo. Now, remember, he is normally a 2 initiative, but he gets a +1, so he's next, and he rolled a 1. That's good, because he gets that, and he gets another grit. So we're not starting off too badly, this getting set up to go as we head into danger, but we're going to roll the samurai last. He's going to go next. Now, if I have full grit and I roll a 1, I don't get a grit, but I get to roll again and add to my movement, so that's pretty cool. And yes, there's a ton of dice rolling in this game. So we're going to roll for the samurai next. A 2, he doesn't get to go very far. He'll just go 1, 2 to here and be next to the sumo wrestler as we head toward this other new room. Guys, that's a full round. We did a full round already. Boom, just like that. However, I don't think we're going to stop there because that's not very enticing, is it? We want to at least see what's in the next room. Now, I normally play with the advanced rules, meaning if we draw a room tile and there's a special card associated with it, I always play that. But I'm not going to do that this time because there's some other parts to this adventure. I don't want to have 3 things happen at once, and we could have undead come out almost every time we go. So I'm gonna not play that. I'm just going to play when we have an encounter. It's a random encounter. It's not, we're not going to always draw the thing from the room. All right. Well, let's and when we do, it'll be random. So let's move on from that. We're going to go back around and do a hold back the darkness roll. Hopefully we succeed because I don't want a darkness card, and that would be nice. 5. We are failing again. So we have failed 2 of our darkness rolls and haven't even discovered a room yet. That is fantastic. Great. That is a bad start, actually. So this is going to go up 1, and you see when we get to this blood spot here, we're going to draw a darkness card. So we're going to draw one of those right now. Now, darkness cards, they're not so bad sometimes. Sometimes they're terrible. But we're going to get those out. Let me just focus in right here. Let's see here. Shuffling these up. Let's get that one back into play here. Like I said, I've added a bunch of content to this adventure, so some crazy things could happen. We could run into some stuff that in base games you haven't seen before, because I did get the big pledge with all the cool trappings with it. I haven't assembled all the miniatures yet, but I have put together a whole bunch of them. So let's do that. We're going to do this one. We're going to cut one more. Boom. There we go. And we'll draw this card. What do we get? Overpowered. Darkness boost size. Enemies that are large size are bigger now. Do +1 damage on all of their attacks. Okay, or +2 if the hero party is level 3 or 4 or not. So this is going to be remains in play. I'm going to put this next to our growing dread card. Now when we fight big giant guys, bigger guys, that we're going to have to deal with the fact they do extra damage, and I'm going to have to try to remember that. That's the fun part. But that's absolutely 2 failed rolls, so that sucks. We're going to roll now for movement for our ninja, our assassin. who's just simply going to move there. We can't scavenge anymore, and that will end up drawing a map token, but we'll get everybody moved first. Well, that wouldn't be the way to do it. Let's do it right. I don't want to mess around with it because then I'll make a mistake. We're going to get the map deck out. Yep, lots of cards, lots of things to do here. We're going to draw a map card and see what we discover. If it's a room, I got to remember to add a D3 plus 1 corpse tokens to the room. And there's some rules on how they get laid out. They get laid out like enemies, so we'll deal with that. Anyway, I just want to make sure we've shuffled these up. And we'll cut one more time. There we go. What do we get? We get the bathhouse. Now see, this advanced is black water. I would normally draw that out, but I'm not going to. So let me get the bathhouse tile out, and we'll mosey on from there. Here is the bathhouse. Now we're going to orient that so it looks like this, right? And then we're going to enter here. So we know that we're coming in this side. So we're just going to take this right here and put it on this spot right there. The assassin is right on the edge there. Then we're going to roll to see which one of these entrances is, which one of these ways out is the way out. So it's going to be a 4. It means the south one is going to be the one to go to. So we're going to cap off the upper one with a cap, meaning that's not the direction. We are going this way. Now, you note that it's going right into our characters, so there's going to be some serious movement of tiles around here as we play the game. Like I might have to move these up or move them around because this map can get rather sprawling. So anyway, that is that. Now we're going to take one of these exploration tokens. Here they are. I'm just going to cut one more time and take this one. That is our token right there. All right, and that is going to be the end of that turn. Remember, I'm not doing the advanced thing, so I'm just going to discard that card. I'll put it right bar, and we are good to go. Now, that was the assassin's turn, so now we're going to move the monk. The monk is next. 3. Okay, so we're going to go. This tile is not on quite right yet. Let's get this. There we go. Okay, we're going to go right to the edge here. Yeah, we'll go right now. We want one of the fighters up front, hopefully. So we're going to go 1 to there and stop. And that's all she's going to do. Now, remember, you don't have to do your full movement. She also then gains a key token. Yay. She's got 2 now, so she's got stuff she can do. She can have a maximum of 6. Now we're going to roll for the sumo wrestler. He's going next. Hopefully he rolls big. He does. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right up to the edge of the room. And then the samurai is going to go 5, so he's just going to back up right there behind the sumo wrestler. That is the end of our round. Now we're gonna expose the exploration token, get set up for whatever comes our way, and we're gonna end this episode. So, because I don't want to be too long, what do we get? An attack. Of course, we get an attack. So, what does an attack mean for us? Let me show you in the rules. It's not an ambush, and there is a door there, right? It's right here, so we're okay there. We're gonna be able to exit that way. And there's 1 exit. So actually I'm supposed to flip this over before I block those off because there could have been 2, but it's not a big deal. Okay, anyway, we have 4 characters. So we're going to be attacked by a medium threat. Let me get the threat deck out. Yes, another deck, and we're going to see what happens to us. Before I do that, I do need to roll a D3, so it's going to be 1 plus 1, so 2 corpse tokens. I got to get 2 corpse tokens out, which means I need to find them in here. That's always fun. There we go, got them. And they're going to be staggered from the back, so it's going to be 1, 2, sorry, that's not a corpse token, let me find one. Grab the wrong thing, there we go. There's 2 corpses in the back of the room there. Now, that's because everybody that comes here dies, but that doesn't stop the attack. And I got a big giant deck of stuff here, so let's see what happens to us. Hopefully this is not too gruesome of an encounter. I'm just shuffling them up because I haven't played with them in a while, and I just want to make sure we got them all nice and loomed up to go. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's see. What do we get? We get a power die of these guys. And I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head. But let me get the power die out. We're going to see how many of them we're going to have to fight. So there's these weird creatures sitting in there. They're all gross and nasty. Yuck. Sorry, got to get the dice out. And here's the power die. We're going to roll that die. And we're going to have 3 of them. 3 of the Akaname come out. Let's get their card out, show you what that looks like, and get their miniatures out. Like all creatures, there are two sides. There's a brutal side and the normal side. We're playing on the normal side. These are demon myth fiends, so that means the traveling monk does get their Yamabushi bonus, +1 damage against all myth creatures. And you can see that they have an initiative of 5, so they're going to go pretty fast. They have leaping, move through other models when moving to attack, only moves the shortest distance possible to reach each target. After moving at least one space to reach target, gain +3 damage on all of its combat hits. Wow, that's pretty rough. Flickering, Fill Flicker, gain +1 combat for each corruption point. We don't have to worry about that yet. And from the shadows, when attacking from ambush, don't have to worry about that yet either. They have no range. They are a melee creature. They have a 2 combat. They do 2 damage per hit. They have a 3 defense and 6 hit points. So we're 35 experience points each. We're just going to put that card out right there. And then we're going to organize these guys. So there's going to be one here, one here, and they're staggered along with the corpses because the corpses could become baddies. So that is how the scenario looks right now. They have come out to play. We're going to put this card right there for now. Put the threat deck back, and we're ready to go. So in Shadows of Brimstone, when you first have an attack, now this token is now gone. You can see it does have 1 entrance, so we're okay there. I should have waited to block that off, but we're going to get rid of this and discard it. In Shadows of Brimstone, once you enter a room and there's a combat that takes place, all time stops. We go through another round of holding back the darkness, and then we start fighting. So we're going to put all of our dice aside, yay, and we're going to start our next session with a big fight. So guys, get prepared. We're getting ready to knock down some bad guys here in Shadows of Brimstone, Forbidden Fortress. Again, guys, I'm going to make mistakes. I used to play the old one a bunch, and there's so many rules to remember. If you do catch them, and I can correct it, just let me know. We'll get it solved. But the goal to this game, and any game like this, is simply to have fun, and that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you do. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next episode. This is going to be a fun one.